Well, good evening. Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to the first meeting of the Marion City Council for 2018. This is the meeting for Thursday, January 4th, 2018. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Draper. Ms. Etzel.
Present.
Mr. Jensen.
Here.
Mayor Abou-Osley.
Here.
Ms. Gedalia.
Here.
Mr. Brandt.
Here.
Mr. Sternad.
Present.
Thank you. Tonight we're welcoming three new council members, Steve Jensen, Renee Gedalia, and Randy Sternad. And we're going to administer the oath of office for each of them at this time. And we'll follow that up by the proclamation for Martin Luther King King Jr. Day for 2018. Okay? If you guys would like to come down front. All right, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Steve L. Jensen,
I, Steve L. Jensen,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa
and the ordinances of the City of Marion, Iowa,
and the ordinances of the City of Marion, Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties of the office of council member for Ward 2.
discharge
All the duties of the office of council member
of the office of council member, Ward 2,
in the City of Marion, Iowa,
in the City of Marion, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you have a family member you want to take a picture with? Or would you like to take a picture? No?
Did you get a picture?
Do you want to take a picture with him? Or no? Okay.
Did you get one? You said you sat there. Oh, she got one.
Okay, good.
I don't know who's next.
Come on forward.
I thought
Okay.
I saw my signature.
Switch him around. All right. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Renee Gedalia,
I, Renee Gedalia,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa
and the ordinances of the City of Marion, Iowa,
and the ordinances of the City of Marion, Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of council member for Ward 4
of the office of council member for Ward 4
in the City of Marion, Iowa,
in the City of Marion, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law. Thank you.
Yes.
Duda, Nina, will you guys come up for a picture? Would you take one with? Oh, she left it. That's okay.
Doesn't get to say. Yeah, so
That's okay. Randy. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Randy Sternad,
I, Randy Sternad,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa
and the ordinances of the City of Marion, Iowa,
and the ordinances of City of Marion, Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of council member
discharge all of the
duties of the office of council
of the
member
office of council member
at large in the City of Marion, Iowa,
in the City of Marion, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now required here and after by law.
Okay. Congratulations. Well, congratulations to all of you. All three together? Okay.
Do bunny ears.
I always stand next to the tall guy.
I know, I was gonna.
Take our pictures together.
Okay. And while I'm down here, we will have a proclamation for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And I think we have somebody here to accept the proclamation from our Civil Rights Commission. Shirley Pantini. Thank you for coming. Okay. Oh, I should sign this.
The signed one doesn't count.
It does not count. Of course, it needs to be signed. Okay. Whereas Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. devoted his life to advancing equality, social justice, and opportunity for all, and challenged all Americans to participate in the never-ending work of building a more perfect union. And whereas Dr. King's teachings can continue to guide and inspire us in addressing challenges in our communities. And whereas the King Holiday and Service Act, enacted in 1994, designated the King Holiday as a national day of volunteer service. And whereas the Universal Declaration of Human Rights empowers us all, the principles enshrined in the Declaration are as relevant today as they were in 1948. And whereas since 1994, millions of Americans have been inspired by the life and work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to serve their neighbors and communities on the King Holiday. And whereas serving on the King Holiday is an appropriate way to honor Dr. King, meet local and national needs, bring our citizens together, and strengthen our communities and nation. And whereas the King Day of Service is the only federal holiday commemorated as a national day of service and offers an opportunity for Americans to give back to their communities on the holiday and make an ongoing commitment to service throughout the year. And whereas each of us can and must contribute to making our communities better with increased opportunity for all our citizens. And whereas citizens of Marion, Iowa have the opportunity to participate in events throughout our city on the King Day of Service, January 15th, 2018, as well as create and implement community service projects where they identify the need. Now, therefore, I, Nicholas Abouassali, Mayor of the City of Marion, Iowa, do hereby proclaim Martin Luther King Jr. Day, 2018, as a day of service in Marion, and call upon the people of the community to pay tribute to the life and works of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. through participation in community service projects on Martin Luther King Day and throughout the year. Thank you. I was reminded that I missed our moment of silence, so I promise next time we'll include that, so. Okay, on to the mayoral appointments.
Well, let's see. The mayoral appointments for Renee Gedalia, Mayor Pro Tem, January 4th, 2018 through December 31st, 2018. Randy Sternad, Deputy Mayor Pro Tem, January 4th, 2018 through December 31st, 2018. Randy Sternad, Mayor Pro Tem, January 1, 2019 through December 31st, 2019. And Renee Gedalia, Deputy Mayor Pro Tem, January 1, 2019 through December 31st, 2019.
That's a motion to approve.
Make a motion to it, yes.
I guess that has to be.
Second.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second to approve the mayoral appointments of Renee Gedalia as Mayor Pro Tem for the year 2018, ending on December 31st, 2018, and Randy Sternad as Deputy Mayor Pro Tem for the same time period. And Randy Sternad as Mayor Pro Tem beginning January 1st, 2019 through the December 31st, 2019, with Renee Gedalia serving as Deputy Mayor Pro Tem during that same time period. Okay. Discussion? Okay, so does everyone get to vote? Okay. All those in favor of the mayoral appointments, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Okay, the motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, on to the consent calendar.
I make a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented, items 1 through 14, which include resolutions 26569 through 26576.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar, which includes resolution 26569 through 26576, items numbers 1 through 14. Discussion? Yes, ma'am.
I'd just like to thank Tim Mooney for his service on the CMPO. I served with him on planning and zoning. He's an excellent representative and ambassador for Marion, so I'm sorry to see him have to leave that, but wish him well.
Agreed. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes. For the next portion, I'll turn over the gavel to Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, on the second portion of the consent calendar, beginning with
Somebody's got to make the motion. So.
okay.
Would you make the motion again, please?
Sure. Motion to approve the consent calendar with Mayor Abou-Osley's abstention from voting and discussion regarding the following items. 15 through, just 15. Resolutions 26577 through 26579.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion from Will, a second from Kim. Any discussion on item 15? Okay, all those in favor to move this project calendar, including these items from Resolution 26577 through 26579, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Seeing none?
This will be resolution number 26580, approving supplemental contract with Ratchy Construction for the 2017 storm sewer project in the amount of $2,700.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 26580, approving supplemental contract with Ratchy Construction for the 2017 storm sewer project in the amount of $2,700. Discussion.
It's like a staff report. So
Please.
basically what this is they got the project done except for the seeding, and we cannot get grass to grow, so we just do a supplemental seeding. We take care of it in the spring, and this way we don't hold that retainage for the entire winter from them.
So this is already part of the contract?
It was part of the original contract, so you
Yeah.
guys approved the contract as part of the consent calendar, and we just pull this item out write a separate supplemental contract that's just for the seating.
Okay, just so that everyone understands.
Yep.
Okay. Any discussion, questions? All those in favor of resolution number 26580, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve the project calendar regarding the 2018 sidewalk assessment project as follows. A, motion to retain the city manager as project engineer regarding the 2018 sidewalk assessment project. B, resolution number 26581, approving the preliminary resolution pursuant to Chapter 384.42 of the Code of Iowa regarding the 2018 sidewalk assessment project. And C, resolution number 26582, approving the proposed resolution of necessity and setting public hearing regarding the 2018 sidewalk assessment project.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution the motion. It's moved and seconded to approve the project calendar regarding 2018 sidewalk assessment project as follows. Motion to retain the city of engineer as project engineer regarding 2018 sidewalk assessment project. Resolution number 26581, approving the preliminary resolution pursuant to Chapter 384.42 of the Code of Iowa regarding the 2018 sidewalk assessment project. And resolution number 26582, approving the proposed resolution of necessity and setting public hearing regarding the 2018 sidewalk assessment project. Okay, discussion on this? None? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Mr.
Next,
Jensen.
I'd like to make a motion to receive and file a letter from the ITC Midwest regarding upgrading their transmission line route. And that's a letter that we just received when we got here for our meeting.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to receive and file a letter from ITC Midwest regarding upgrading transmission line route. Discussion.
How is that affecting?
So right now, this is just basically establishing the public hearing that they're going to have so that those that are interested can come and speak to it. It's basically rebuilding an existing line that's there today and upgrading it to a higher voltage. With that, we'll have to speak with the airport committee. They're also proposing to put a substation south of Munier and east of 31st Street on Atlas Partnership, Bjornson property. And so they obviously have to get permission from that property owner yet, and so that may delay them a little bit. And so this is just them starting the process, letting people know it's part of the utility board requirement for them to notify.
And why are they, do you know why they're up? I mean, is it just
Demand.
needed demand? Yeah, okay. And
And so there's no
all in
action. All
Marion?
you're doing is you're receiving and filing the letter.
Sure,
Because
sure.
we are,
Do you know anything about where they're actually?
in the
Upgrading.
letter, the last page of it actually has a map there. For some
Yeah, I
reason, it's
see the
missing
map.
the portions of Marion, but if you connect the red lines, you can kind of tell where they're going.
That's black and white, so I don't know what red
Okay.
line is.
I can pull it up on the projector.
Is it the dark line that runs along the highway? So they're upgrade, oh, and then along Collins Road too?
Most of it is in Cedar Rapids. So they're starting down here in Cedar Rapids. They're going along Mount Vernon Road. Then they're coming up 151, Highway 13 to Collins, coming over Highway 100, and then up to Munier.
Up along.
Kind of
Munier.
see that this is probably a dark line that's shown on yours that isn't red. So really, the only places in Marion are along Munier Road and along Highway 100.
Okay.
Would that, is there any concern with Muner going away in the future about?
I brought that, like I said, this is we don't have to do
Okay.
any action. This is just them telling us they want to try and do this.
Okay.
Lots of process to go through yet.
Understand. That just came to my mind.
One of the many things that were brought up to them,
Yeah, okay.
as well as the airport and other things.
Okay, other discussion?
I assume you might be going to the meeting, the open house, or are you just going to talk to them on the side?
When they actually get farther along, this is more for the public, but when they actually get farther along, they'll have to get permits and stuff from us, so we'll know what's going on and bring that stuff back to you guys.
Sure. Thanks, Mike.
Other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion to receive and file the letter from ITC Midwest, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes. The next item, I will abstain from participating in, so I'll turn over the gavel to Mayor Pro Tem.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 26583, approving a preliminary plat for Hunters Ridge North, First Edition, located east of Winslow Road and north of Stag's Leap Lane, Midwest Development.
Second?
Okay, a motion by Will, second by Kim to approve Resolution 26583 for a preliminary plat at Hunters Ridge North, First Edition, located east of Winslow Road and north of Stag's Leap Lane, Midwest Development. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, say no. Motion passes.
Thank you. At this time, we have a public hearing regarding a street vacation request from Gospel Light Baptist Church for the property located on 3rd Street, north of 2nd Avenue and south of 3rd Avenue. Okay, the public hearing is now open. Is there a report on it before we have comments? Yep.
If you like, I can put the drawing up if you want to just see that for. So the property that's being proposed to be vacated is the is 3rd Street south of 3rd Avenue, as highlighted in yellow, to serve the church. On the south, you can see that's the only the road currently only provides access to the church. There's really no issues at this time from a staff perspective on vacating it. It actually takes away from us having to maintain it. The desire of the church is to expand it to make it a little bit easier to access the property to 2 lanes of traffic. They've purchased the property directly to the east. It's highlighted in the blue, so that they can provide for that into the future. So they've got some plans to upgrade the entrance to their facility. So just to point out, the next item on the agenda is setting the date for a public hearing regarding the sale, so you're aware.
So tonight, there's a public hearing on the vacation, and then we would have another public hearing on actually selling it if the vacation happens.
Correct, and that would be at the next meeting.
At the next meeting, okay. So is there anyone here in the audience to speak in favor of this measure? Sir? Okay, come forward and please state your name and your address. Thank you.
Pastor McCurdy. I'm at 117 30th Street Court in Marion, Iowa.
And when you have, I don't know if you haven't already filled out the yellow card, maybe when you're finished, if you could fill
Okay,
that out
be
for
glad
us so
to.
we have the right spelling of your name. Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, that'd be a great asset to us to be able to improve that property that we just bought and clear that out and make it a lot prettier there on that site. And it also enable us to put a little, we'd like to maybe in the future put some lighting down that as a medium strip down that street, and I think it'd be a beautiful thing. It'd be a great asset for us to improve visibility of the church from 3rd Street as well. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions for him? Okay. Anyone else here to speak in favor of this measure? Okay, is there anyone here to speak in opposition? Anyone opposed to this measure? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Would you like to make the motion?
Oh, sure. Yep. I move resolution number 26584 to approve a street vacation request for Gospel Light Baptist Church for property located on 3rd Street north of 2nd Avenue and south of 3rd Avenue.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 26584, approving a street vacation request for Gospel Light Baptist Church for property located 3rd Street north of 2nd Avenue and south of 3rd Avenue. Discussion. From the city's perspective, there's no reason why the city would want that to remain a public street.
No, we've run it through the departments, and there's been no issues
It
identified.
only serves that property.
Correct.
Yeah, I drove over there, and it kind of looks like a driveway right now that in any case. But
It's exactly the way it's used.
yeah. Any discussion, any questions? Okay. Seeing that there's no discussion, all those in favor of resolution number 26584, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Okay, the motion passes.
Here I make a motion to approve resolution number 26585, setting January 18th, 2018 as a public hearing regarding a request to purchase public property at 3rd Street, north of 2nd Avenue and south of 3rd Avenue. This will be Gospel Light Baptist Church.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 26585, setting January 18th, 2018 as public hearing regarding a request to purchase public property at 3rd Street, north of 2nd Avenue and south of 3rd Avenue. Discussion? Okay, all those in favor of resolution number 26585, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Mr. Jensen?
Next, I'd like to make a resolution number 26587, approving purchase of property described as 600 19th Street, Marion Parcel 7A, 7B, 7C from QA Properties in the amount of $154,603.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 26587, approving purchase of property described as 600 19th Street, Marion, parcel 7A, 7B, 7C from QA Properties in the amount of $154,603. Discussion?
Presentation on that?
Yeah.
So this is the final property that we need to complete the Phase 3 of the Central Corridor project. As you know, we've started construction on 15th and 6th Avenue in this vicinity. It's the location of the roundabout. The last purchase, I think, was the storage garages in this location here. So the project parameters at this point, less this property, would have stopped the project at about 16th. With this acquisition, we can now extend that project to 19th. This black line indicating how far we will go. The plan of improvements have been completed to that, but it was necessary for this last acquisition so that we could get the project to move along a little bit further. So we've been working with the owner for quite some time. The property was previously owned by King's Material, and it's the location of the concrete batch plant. I think everybody, it's kind of iconic structure in the corridor right now. So as a part of that, we will have responsibility to have that. So we'll buy it as is, and then we'll remove that as a part of the project. They're estimated that's going to be about between $30,000 and $50,000. I don't know, Mike, if Mike may have a further estimate on that, but we're still getting calculations on how much it's going to cost to review it. We had the property appraised in November, and we offered to purchase at the appraised value, and they've accepted, and a copy of the purchase agreement's in your packet. So this will allow us to continue that corridor project a little bit further now that we have it under contract. It does include property. It's 3 parcels, the hatched areas. So it's this triangular piece, the area that runs between 17th and 19th, and then there is a small piece here between 19th and 20th Street, I believe. So as we move along, there aren't a whole lot of properties left to acquire. Our hope is that this piece getting completed in the spring would allow us to start and complete all of the acquisitions necessary for the remainder of the corridor, and then we'd hopefully be able to start the rest of that project in the fall. Right, Mike?
Yeah, Hall & Hall is working on the plan, so once we have the acquisitions, we'll continue to build.
Yeah, so we're getting down to the end, to the last phase, which is pretty exciting from our perspective. So, any questions on the acquisition?
Did you hear from anyone, any of the neighboring places about any of that?
Well, we don't really do much of a public notice on an acquisition like this, but we've been in contact with most of them over the years, and the drawings are pretty, they haven't changed. I think this drawing's probably been in place for at least a couple years. The yellow on the map indicates where we've had to get temporary construction easements to actually complete the improvement. So most of them have seen the property and have been engaged in this conversation for quite a period of time. And even the properties down and to the east they're very aware of what's going on.
I would think most neighbors would look forward to having that cement plant tore down. That's been kind of a eyesore for many, many years.
Yeah, I would agree. And now it's half up.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if you've noticed that or not,
now.
but they've, as a part of the sale, King's Material demoed a portion of it. So we'll see the remainder of that come down in the spring. If you've been down through the corridor, if you haven't, it's hard to see now with the snow, but with the buildings that have been removed, and I didn't check, but the storage garages will come down soon too. That area looks tremendously wider, flatter. It's pretty amazing, the transformation that's occurred down there. So,
Did we think to start a time lapse of this whole project so that, that would be very cool.
I wish we would have. I think,
Yeah.
but I think the Google Earth images and then our Lynn County GIS system will provide us the opportunity to see it. It's not a 3D model of it, but it changes every 3 months pretty substantially right now.
Yeah,
So.
that'll be cool. Thanks.
Mr. Mayor, I'm actually going to ask to table this till the next meeting just because I did not receive the purchase contract in my packet. And so I'd like to review it before we approve it. I don't know if anybody else got it, but I didn't get it.
I've got it,
You got it?
yes.
I didn't see it anywhere. I'm looking again and I don't have it.
I thought I had it.
I don't know if you've got is there a date that it needs to be, is there a date here that needs to be finalized by?
Yeah, they want a quick closing on it.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right, Will.
I noticed that what we got for that item was
Right
a
here.
duplicate of what we just passed, the church, and I reached out to Tracy and Dave and received this
Okay.
yesterday or today. I just assumed,
I
and
didn't
I'm
get it.
sorry that they would pass it on. So there was a mix-up. We got 2 of the church thing.
So it's the red with the black lines,
This is parcel A,
A, B, and C, okay.
B, and then C. We've already received there's been signatures for the temporary construction easements associated with it. Legal's reviewed the contract, and the owner's representative has also. Abstracts being updated, so we're.
And so the remainder of the concrete plant is our responsibility to take down?
Correct. Yep.
Are you,
Looks fine.
are you making a motion to?
No,
table it, or-
I won't. and stuff's in there.
Okay. Any further discussion? That purchase price was set pursuant to an appraisal?
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah. Further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Okay. All right, the motion passes.
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve Resolution 26588, approving an amendment to development agreement, AIS Properties Incorporated, doing business as Restoration Dental.
Second?
I'd like to actually have this one deferred until the next city council meeting. There's still a little bit of work that needs to be done on it to make sure it's exactly right. So we're going to remove this one from the agenda.
Okay, we've already had the motion and second made, but can we
Make a motion to table it till
Yeah.
the next meeting.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to table resolution number 26588 after the motion was made by Mr. Brandt and seconded by Councilwoman Etzel. Any discussion on tabling? All those in favor of tabling resolution number 26588, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. Okay. The resolution is tabled.
Your Honor, I make a motion to move resolution number 26589, approving an amendment to development agreement, Arnold Property Group LLC, DBA Game On.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 26589, approving an amendment to the development agreement with Arnold Property Group LLC. Discussion. Can you just explain the amendment to everyone?
Yeah, this is the brick alley uptown, and one of the priorities in the city's economic development policies is to make public safety improvements, particularly to historic buildings. And as part of that, for people that are contemplating putting sprinkler systems into these older buildings, the city will provide financial assistance to help cover that cost. In this case, his cost to do that was a little under $41,000. So the city entered into an agreement to rebate the increased property taxes up to $41,000 to compensate and cover the cost of putting those sprinklers in. In this particular instance, the amount of taxes that are being produced under the term of the original agreement aren't enough to cover the whole $41,000. So we're just adding a number of years to the agreement to make sure that he gets up to that amount. He will not receive more than the city originally agreed to. It'll just be provided over a longer period of time.
Okay. Same benefit, just
Yep.
longer period of time. Discussion? Okay, all those in favor of resolution number 26589, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I make a motion for resolution number 26590, approving memorandum of understanding with J. Lenz LLC.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 26590, approving the memorandum of understanding with J. Lenz LLC. Discussion? Want to talk about
This
too?
one, J. Lenz LLC, wouldn't be immediately apparent to everyone. That's the Uptown Dental facility that's going in over where the Affordable Auto Complex used to be. When As with the public safety improvements for sprinklers, one of the city's priorities with the economic development policies is to help companies cover the costs of redevelopment for brownfield sites. And in this case, the business is doing about a $1.8 million project. They've actually had about $115,000 in additional expenses to abate brownfield conditions on the site. The city's providing assistance of up to $85,000 to help cover the costs of doing that.
Okay, any discussion? This is part of their incentive.
Over 5 years.
60%, 5 years.
Further discussion? Maximum of 85,000 is the...
Yep.
Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of resolution number 26590, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Setzel.
Yes, Your Honor. I make a motion to approve resolution number 26591, approving the new organizational chart.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 26591, approving the new organizational charts. Discussion. Everyone had a chance to review the organizational chart?
Yeah, I think maybe spend some time on this, explaining who, what, where, when, why.
Okay. Yeah, one of the items that came out of strategic planning last year was some direction from the council to take a look at the city's organizational structure. It hasn't been updated back since we were a city of 15,000 people, with the exception of one change. And so one of the things that we've encountered is we've grown as an organization, span of control and the amount of work that's involved with each department has really become an issue, particularly with the city manager's position and some of the other ones throughout the city. And we hadn't really gone through a process to say, okay, what are we doing well? What do we need to be doing that we aren't, that we don't have the capacity to do? And what types of things are no longer being done by the right department or the right individuals? So we went through an exercise to solicit input from the departments and really take a look at where Marion was going to be heading as far as our organizational structure went. Prior to this, Marion had always had a tendency to look laterally when comparing ourselves to cities. But as we've gotten larger, we've been leaving that group of communities behind. And so what we really discussed was starting to look up at the organizational structures of the cities that we were going to be joining. To give you an example, one of the things that's happened over a period of years is functions have been added that would report directly to the city manager. So in addition to the 10 department heads, you'd now have an assistant to the city manager, you'd have an HR function. The number of direct reports was increasing, and our public safety personnel can tell you that if you exceed about 7 direct reports or 8 direct reports, you really stop being able to do justice to all of them. It's one of the core values of emergency management, is making sure that you've got an appropriate span of control. I'd hoped to be able to move kind of into that same type of an organizational structure that the larger cities like Ames and Dubuque and Iowa City might employ. But in the interests of making sure that we could afford to do it, as we went through this, it really became apparent that there were 2 steps that needed to be taken with this process. To keep it affordable and to acknowledge the fact that we just aren't quite there yet. There will be a trigger at some point, and I can't tell you whether it's 46,000 population, 48,000 population, where we'll need to move into that second phase. But we separated it into two different pieces. So there's a couple of keys to it. One is that we'll be combining the planning and building inspection departments underneath a community development director, and we'd be adding a deputy city manager position, revamping the organizational chart to change how some of the reports are done, and then looking at a director of administrative services position, moving some of the items that are direct reports under my department right now and putting them under an administrative services director, things that tend to serve the whole organization. With this first phase of it, what we were really trying to do was to free up staff time for people to be doing things that they're not able to do right now, but also then to do it so that we could put people into positions where we need them more. So, for example, the reorganization contemplates having more services available in the building inspection department. We know that with a lot of the projects coming our direction that with just 3 of them that are being contemplated right now, we could keep a building inspector busy full-time. And so we were trying to be strategic about putting the ones into the departments that are the most stressed while still staying within the amount of the overall budget. There'll be additional positions that will be coming out during budget proposals, and then, as I said, when we get larger and we hit that trigger where we would move into the next phase, that would be where you would do a larger split and actually have the city manager and either 2 deputies or 2 assistant city managers that then have people reporting, departments reporting directly to them. Just as the more we went through it, it just became apparent that we were not going to be able to afford to do that at this point.
I'm a little confused if I look at this proposed org chart, and you talked about it being futuristic, you know, looking at population out there around 46,000, 48, which may not be that far away. So are you talking about splitting it into these groups now? Because a couple of these positions are currently not staffed, so some of these are future staff positions to be added.
Yeah, some of it will take place with some anticipated retirements that would be coming up. We'd be reallocating resources from those. The positions that are being added with the banded pay ranges, and in prior actions we had approved the job descriptions for those. It's getting us set up so that we can start moving into that new phase over a period of a couple of years. What's in the council packets is phase 1. There is a bigger change to the organizational structure that's phase 2, where you would move in and see those larger changes back and forth.
So this phase 1 is, what's the period of time to make this change?
The changes that you'd see in here will be rolled out over the next year.
Okay.
I just have a lot of questions. I think I agree with the premise that this needs to be done. And when I was at the December meeting when this came up and it was asked to be tabled, particularly for the newer members, to have a look, I guess my thought was, and I apologize for not reaching out and requesting it, but that there might be a work session, presentation, discussion, maybe HR could talk about how this came to be. We could understand what the phases are, et cetera. Because I'm new in this role and I've never served in a city council capacity, I feel like I really want to have a good understanding of how this change is taking place so I can be able to explain it to people when they ask, because I do think it's necessary. But I think I need more information than what we were given, and I'm a very inquisitive person, as you've noticed, Lon. So I would ask that we table this until we can have a work session presentation with something a little more formal of a presentation of how this came to be, the direction we're going, the phases, the cut points, and then we could have more of a robust discussion up here and move forward. So I make a motion to table it. Is that appropriate, or do we discuss first and then I make a motion?
Well, you can make your motion and we can discuss, we can have discussion on the motion to table, and then, you know,
Okay.
which would bring in whether people think it should be tabled or not.
Perfect. I move that we table the approval of, I guess it's items 4 and, well, I guess item 4. We table this resolution for the new org chart until we can get a work session presentation for discussion where we don't have to take a vote right at the discussion point.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to table resolution number 26591, approving the organizational chart. Discussion.
I think the further information that I'd like to see, again, I've been involved in reorganizations in the past, and the 2 key things I look at is, are you adding positions? You know, how much is what is the cost of adding those positions? Why are they being done? And again, I understand that the last city council pushed this forward to a January item, but all of a sudden now you got 3 new people up here that were not intimately involved in a lot of that discussion. So I'd like to see at least what the changes are from the org chart before, where it's going now, just kind of a summary of what those changes are. I mean, to me, it looks good on paper, but I think from the standpoint of understanding the impact on number of people, as well as the cost from positions being added or being proposed.
Other discussion on the motion to table? This is a significant thing, you know, it's very significant, so
Well, and
I respect people's wanting to have more information and not look at it in a vacuum, but see the big picture of where we are, where we're going, why, those things, so.
If I may add, for me, when I vote on something, I always want to be able to explain it when people ask, and I just personally don't feel like I know enough about where we're at to where this change is to be able to explain these changes to constituents.
Okay. And your suggestion was it would be like in a work session type?
That seems appropriate,
Meeting.
yeah.
It is unusual, given that we have the combined meeting for the first
Right.
meeting out
Yeah, we
where
didn't
this
have
item
the
was being
benefit.
brought forward, but it was tabled to the first council meeting
I
in
couldn't say
January,
anything
so we
from
need
out
to bring
there,
it back.
though.
Okay. Okay, any further discussion on the motion to table? All those in favor of the motion to table, resolution number 26591, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Okay, the motion is tabled.
Okay, next I'd like to make a resolution number 26592, approving an amendment of the April 1st, 2017 non-bargaining banded pay range schedule to include the following. Deputy City Manager, $104,130 minimum to $153,133 hard cap. Community Development Director, $101,773 minimum to $149,666 hard cap. Director of Administrative Services, $101,773 minimum to $149,666 hard cap. Budget Manager, $65,306 minimum to $96,038 hard cap. City Clerk / Records Retention Manager, $51,478 minimum to $75,703 hard cap. And the last one, Plans Examiner, $55,648 minimum to $81,835 hard cap.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 26592, approving amendment to the non-bargaining banded pay range schedule to include Deputy City Manager, Community Development Director, Director of Administrative Services, Budget Manager, City Clerk, Records Retention Manager, and Plans Examiner. Discussion.
Does this need to be tabled also, so it kind of goes hand in hand with the other one?
This one is a
these
little
are-
bit different because the council has approved those job descriptions in the past, and every job description that we have, whether there's a person in it or not, just has a wage schedule attached with it. So that's all this action does, is actually take the job descriptions, attach a wage schedule to it. None of them will be filled or anything like that wouldn't be happen until the council would authorize the positions.
I think it'd be
At this point, it's
beneficial maybe
clerical.
to go over briefly how the pay ranges were determined.
Yeah, with pay ranges for non-bargaining positions, Marion has traditionally looked to our peer communities to develop those ranges, and then we have a formula based off of the midpoint of that for what our bottom of our range is and what our top of our range is. In this case, we used that data, but also we used some data that from a study that the City of Johnston had, where they did a compensation study and actually went in and compared actual job duties and not just job titles, and then also internal comparability. That's why you'll see that like the Community Development Director and Director of Administrative Services, both of which as department heads have the same range.
Okay, thanks.
I have a question.
But oh, go ahead, yes.
Looking at the current pay scale to the proposed pay scale, I see the city engineer changes, but it's not listed on here. At least the current one that I was given yesterday. It went down. And it's marked as changes to current position due to change of responsibility. I was going to ask tonight about what the responsibility changes for the city engineer, but I guess we can get into that when we do a larger presentation for the discussion. But just something I noticed.
Since these positions are in the chart, don't we have to approve that first before we approve positions?
I don't know that we have to, but it seems like they go hand in hand. It might make sense. Are we holding something up by not? Because we can't move forward until we do something with the org chart. So I think
There's no functional
I'm
impact
sorry,
if you
yeah.
delay this one as well.
I don't think delaying is going to change these numbers. I mean, these numbers come from a study based upon, I think, the manner and how the numbers were determined is reasonable.
But the titles themselves, the positions themselves,
right,
come out of that
org chart.
the
Yeah,
new
but-
org chart.
As I said, the council has already approved the job descriptions. They're on the books. This is just attaching pay scales to those
Okay.
positions. We have literally dozens of positions that have pay scales attached that are vacant, that there's nobody in that classification.
Yeah, we're not approving any hiring or
Nope.
new positions, so.
Okay.
So I don't know if you need to add city engineer into that, or is it a typo? That's my question.
Wasn't published. Will that?
Are these all new positions,
Yeah.
Lon? These 5 here, or 6 here?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
These are all new positions, that's why we're approving the pay ranges.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll have to do some checking on the city engineer position. That was not why that was reclassified.
Okay. Any other discussion?
It was tabled, right? Yeah. Or
No.
we're
No.
discussing
It wasn't.
tabling it, right?
Right.
No,
Was
there
it
has
not
not been,
tabled? No.
There's not a motion.
there's no
Okay.
motion to table. This is just to approve it.
Okay.
To approve these wage ranges. Okay? Other discussion?
Mm.
All those in favor of resolution number 26592, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Okay, motion passes. Would you make that motion?
Oh, sure. There are several mayoral reappointments. I'd like to make a motion to approve Terry Chu at 2980 6th Street for the Lynn County Solid Waste Agency. Term expires December 31st of 2019. John Skolarski at 1035 Dry Creek Lane for the Local Option Sales Tax Oversight Committee. Term expiring December 31st of 2020. And Deb Washburn of 1010 Dry Creek Lane for the Local Option Sales Tax Oversight Committee, term expiring also on December 31st, 2020.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the reappointment of Terry Chu to the Lynn County Solid Waste Agency, John Skolarski to the Local Option Sales Tax Oversight Committee, and Deb Washburn to the Local Option Sales Tax Oversight Committee. Discussion.
Thank them for their continued service and expertise of staying on these boards and commissions.
Further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the reappointments, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. This time we have citizen presentations. Anyone to address the council? Please come forward.
Doesn't look like there are any. Council discussion time. We start with Kim?
Nothing.
Nothing? Steve?
Nothing for tonight. Just saying I'm looking forward to being on the city council for the next 4 years.
Okay.
I echo Steve's sentiments. It's great to be here. I've been to many meetings. It's nice to have this perspective and to be able to work toward moving the city forward with staff and residents who are interested and come to the meetings. I also want to give a special thanks because there's a lot to learn. We're big and we're growing. And so I want to thank Lon and the city staff for all they've done to already bring us up to speed, to give us information promptly, and the tours that Lon has spent a lot of time. When I said I was inquisitive, those who know me know that's true. So I specifically would like to thank the following people, because I spent an hour or more at the police station, so Chief McHale and Deputy Chief Slagle, also Director Ryan Miller at Public Works. I got an eyeful there. Parks and Rec Director Mike Carolyn. I had a great time there, and I still need to come back and see the storm shelter. I had to run out. Time ran out. And at the fire department, I'm sorry that I missed you, but Deputy Fire Chief Jason Hansen, everybody just, what's so cool is how much pride everyone takes in what they do. It really comes through from the cleanliness of the buildings to the way that the staff interacts with each other. It's just really heartening to see the gel of the city, if you will, behind the scenes. It's as great as things are out there. It's internally, I feel that too, and I sense that. So just want to thank and Beth and Tracy also for all of the little things that are important to get done too. So really just a thank you at my first comments.
Will?
Welcome the new members. And Chief, I still haven't got a tour of the fire station from when I got on council. We didn't do it that day. We got busy, or we didn't have enough time to do it, and I still haven't had it.
Just
I've never
let
seen
me
your
know.
office.
Just let me know.
All right.
We'll make it happen.
Right along.
Oh, that's
I need to
on
do
my
it right
list.
along, yeah.
That's on my list.
Say that again? Yeah, I've heard. Yes, he lives in firemen.
I hope it wouldn't be inappropriate to say that I'm back. I'm super excited about being back.
So excited for that, Randy.
Yeah, thank you. And it's so freezing up here right now.
I know. I know. If I'm cold, it's cold in here.
You guys cold out there?
I
we
have
had
had the
our
opportunity
vendor
this
in
last year to partake in sitting in on the Local Option Sales Tax Oversight Committee. Any opportunity, I want to say this on behalf of the public that's here today and listening on the recording, to get engaged and get involved in a lot of our committees and programs throughout the city. It does truly enlighten you to understand the different committees that go on. Local option sales tax is no different. There's a lot of responsibility there. Lots that are going on. Everybody's demanding money, requesting money, and making sure that the appropriate monies are going to the right places. That oversight committee does a wonderful job. I as well would like to extend a thank you to those people. The mayoral reappointments to those people, they're huge assets to that. So unfortunately, given our roles, we're not allowed to have some conflicts, so I did have to resign from that committee as well too. So I've done a lot of resigning lately, but I'm back to this one. So thanks for everybody's support. Looking forward to getting in touch again with the staff. According to my attendance, I think I only missed 4 meetings for council in 2017, so I'm pretty much up to speed with what's going on, and there's still a lot of things that I don't get to see, or the public does. So trying to get dive back into some of that other stuff as far as the details go. So anyway, looking forward to it. Going to be a great 2018, and just happy to be back in this capacity. So thank you.
Great. Well, I also would like to welcome the new members and also thank Will and Kim for all their past service. And we look forward to working with the new members to keep the city moving forward. I expect great things from this council and from all of us. I think this is a group that's going to reach way higher and to
um, do the right thing at the right time to make our city even better, an even better place to be and to live and to do business. Yesterday, I want to thank Steve and Renee for joining me at the library to volunteer for the mobile food pantry that comes there once a month. It was really an interesting perspective on food insecurity in our community, and I'd like to see the council members individually start to volunteer for that once a month, as we do for other things. I think it's an important thing to participate in, if you are so inclined. I'm not going to ask for an organized volunteer effort, but I certainly will be doing that myself, as many times as possible, and I would encourage everyone to at least go check it out and volunteer. They told us that they every time they come to the library, and they go to several places in Marion each month, but just at the library they serve 40 to 50 families per visit that come and get food. So also yesterday I had the pleasure of speaking at the Optimist Club that meets at Mr. Bean's, which is the Marion East Cedar Rapids or Cedar Rapids Marion Optimist Club. That was a great group. I was really impressed with the Optimist Creed, so I thought I'd just finish by reading the Optimist Creed for everyone here. Because I think a lot of these things also apply not just to people in their personal life and how they conduct themselves, but also to how we all work together as city employees and council and citizens and community groups. So this is the Optimist Creed. Promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind, to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet, to make all your friends feel that there is something in them, to look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true, to think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. We talk about that a lot. To be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own, to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future, to wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature you meet a smile, to give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others, to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. So with that, I'm looking forward to having a great year with everyone and working together to keep Marion reaching higher. Thank you. So do we need to adjourn first, or?
Adjourn first, and then
The meeting is
enter
adjourned, and then do we need to make a motion to move to the closed session, or?
Nope.
Nope, okay.
Not for a labor strategy session.
Okay, so we have a labor strategy session.